We are in After Effects. When you first go into AE and you click it, you get this little tip of the day. You could read it if you want. You don't need to if you don't want. And click close. So this is the interface for After Effects. And before even pointing anything out, I'm going to create a new composition. The basic building block of any project in After Effects is called a composition. And the way you get a composition is say File, or you say Composition, New Composition. And notice that it's Command N. So that's how key to After Effects a composition is. It's Command N. Usually Command N is like a whole new file, but in this case it's a composition. So I'm going to make a new comp, and I'll call this test comp. And a composition is just a timeline and a window that you're looking at, a composition window where you can see what you're doing. And there are different presets for the size of the thing that you're going to make. And right now, since I'm just doing a little test, well, I'll do it pretty much the size that we do everything in here, which is 720p. So I'll do this 720. Actually, this is 960 by 720. So let's do 1280 by 720 with square pixels, and we'll keep it at 23.976 frames per second because that's the same frame rate as the video cameras that we're shooting. We're kind of trying to keep all the cameras at effectively 24 frames per second. It's 23.976, and the resolution is full, and this is just how long you want it to be. So this is hours. This is called time code, and this is hours, minutes, seconds, and frames. And for this little test, I'm just going to make it 5 seconds. So I'll go 05 and say OK. So what that did was give us a timeline and a window where I'm going to put my project. If I click my my period and comma or greater than and less than keys, I could zoom in and out of this so you can see the thing. I could also change that here, but I just want to see everything. And I'm actually going to start by not bringing in artwork from someplace else, but by making a little tiny piece of artwork in here just to show you how things move around in the program. Normally, you're going to probably go File, Import, and you're going to bring in Photoshop files or videos or even whole Premiere projects. But for now, I'm just going to go Layer, New, Solid. And this is just a way of making a small little solid piece of artwork. And I'll make this little piece of artwork maybe 75 by 75 pixels. And I'll make it red by clicking this. So all I've done now is make a new solid, and it shows up down here in my timeline. You see red solid, and here it is on the stage, and I can move it around where I want. If you click on this little triangle next to the word red solid in the timeline, you can see that another little thing comes up that says transform, and I could open this, and it's going to show me different attributes. So see where it says position 514, 330. When I move this around, it's going to show that that's the X and Y coordinates of this. It's moving around to different places. And you can move that by clicking and dragging it here, or by clicking and dragging just right on this number down here. And the same with scale. I could come to the corner of this and drag to scale it up. And if I hold Shift, it constrains the proportions, so it's a perfect square. And I could also click and drag on here to change the scale. And the same with rotation. I could change the rotation this way. And opacity is transparency. I was holding, no, I'm not, I'm just clicking and dragging right now. I'm not holding Shift. Shift is when, like if I scale it up, if I scale it up here, these are locked. See this little link? So if I take that off and I scale it this way, it'll scale it just like that. But if they're linked together, the X and the Y, then it's like this. So this is an object in my layer, and I could turn on or off the view of that object with this. And I want to do a little animation. So the way you do animation is you turn on the attribute that you want to animate. So I'm going to click on position right here. And then I'm going to move my current time marker here to another place. So I'm going to move this like a second away. And I'm going to drag this over to here. And you see there's the line that's the path of action. And if I come back here and I hit the space bar, it'll play. And if I want to make sure it's playing in real time, I could click this RAM preview right here. and it'll play that in real time. It's going to play to the end. It's playing all the way to the end. It'll probably loop because the loop is on right here. And wherever I go, if I move this to another place, it'll move, and I could drag this around to different places. And then I've got these controls of the path right here. So I could drag this. I could actually drag it like this, in which case you see that the path is going to go in a loop. And when these are further apart from each other, it's going to go faster. And when they're closer together, it's going to go slower. So it's going to start out that speed, then it's going to speed up and then slow down a little bit. And I could go down here to the timeline and I could drag these. So if I drag these further apart, then from here to here, you can see if you click on this, see how many frames it takes to get from here to here. And then it's going to go fast there because these are close together, and then really slow there. And if I go back to the beginning and hit the space bar, then it's going to go. So that's how you would do just basic motion in After Effects. And you could do the same with scale. So I could set the scale right here by turning on. I just turn it on one time. I click the little stopwatch there to turn it on to say, at this point in time, set my scale to 192, 192. And then I can move to another frame and scale it up. And then I can move a few frames later here and scale it down. And so now as it's going along this path, and then maybe I'll have it gradually get bigger up to here. So you can see that it's going to gradually get bigger, then get small, and then bigger again, then go faster. And the same, and if I wanted it to stay here for a while, then maybe here I could click this little icon here to set a keyframe. So it's not changing from here to here, but then maybe I make it change, get it really big, and then get it really small. Oops. Or I could just drag here. And the same thing with rotation. You could set a rotation and go, this is degrees, or this is rotations and degrees. So if I click, I want it to go 2 revolutions, then from here to here, it's going to turn around 2 full times. But then maybe I want it to just slowly go back like a half a turn or something. And I could have that take longer. So I want to stop this recording for now. Where's QuickTime?